So again, as a lot of you have traveled from different parts of the state and come a long way, it's a little out of most people's normal way of operating, and you feel a little out of sorts. But there are a few people here that are friends and elected officials, and I would like to introduce one of our friends in Albany, Senator Liz Kruegar.
Sorry if I'm bumping anybody. I'm in a budget hearing, so I have to run back into it. I've been at so many anti-fracking hearings and events. I know so many of you already. Whether you're from New York City or the border with Canada, we know that we don't have the science that will assure us we can go forward with fracking without putting our communities at risk. It's as simple as that. I read these statements coming out from the industry. There have only been little problems a few places. It's like little problems. They're creating earthquakes. They're destroying whole sections of states. These are not little problems. So for me, this is simple, and I will say it again. We will have a ban on hydrofracking in New York State. There. We can get there the right way, simply don't allow it to go forward, or we can go there the wrong way, which is allow fracking, have a man-made disaster, and then have to ban fracking. So it seems easy to me. We just ban fracking and we avoid all those little problems other parts of the country and the world have been having. No fracking.
So our next speaker is very familiar to a lot of you, the Executive Director of Citizens Campaign for the Environment, Adrienne Esposito.
All right, let's talk. What is this issue about, really? It's about many things. We first heard about this, it was about protection of drinking water. Quickly became about protection of our air quality, protection of our property rights, protection of our communities, protection of rural New York. Today, it has grown to be not only all those things, it has grown to be something we've yet to talk about. This issue is about, is democracy alive and well in the state of New York? Who controls our legislature? Who controls the second floor in the Capitol building? Whose voices will be heard above and beyond the $1.34 million given by the gas industry to New York elected officials, 75% of which went to the state legislature and to the governor? Who controls New York? We do. We are here today for one reason. You care. You care about this state. When we win this campaign, it won't be that you get a big bonus check at the end. It won't be that you walk around Albany beating your chest with victory. It'll be that you have peace of mind. It will be that you have won what you need and what we wanted: clean water, safe air, safe communities, and the ability to live and see New York into the future. That is what we're here for. We're here because we want democracy to live in New York, not corporate control. Have you ever noticed when the corporate interest collides with the public interest, the corporate interest seems to have the advantages in the process? No matter what cockamamie idea they come up with, there's a process. Let's put in pipelines around the sands. We got a process for that. Let's put a floating LNG facility in the middle of Long Island Sound and give 2 square miles over to Shell. We got a process for that. We wanted to pass a solar bill last year. No process for that. We want hydrofracking. They got a process for that. Okay, well, we have a process for that too. And it's called democracy. I've been doing this work a long time. I'm going to tell you how long. It's a little embarrassing, but I'm going to tell you anyway, because I feel like we're friends. I've been doing this work 29 years. 29 frickin' years. Obviously, I started when I was 6. No, that's an exaggeration. But The only time I have seen energy interest beat back is when people come together. And here we are. This is the most powerful tool in our nation, and it's your voice, our collective voices. Nothing is more powerful than that. That's why you're here today. You know, Governor Cuomo, we want to feel like he's here today, so I'm going to hold this up. Hi, Governor. There we go. Oh, Wes is on the spot. There we go. Governor Cuomo, you might remember this, in his inauguration speech, he told this eloquent story about when he was running for office and he was walking in the halls of this building, the Legislative Office Building, and there was a mom there with her daughter. And he overheard, conveniently, the daughter say to the mom, "Ma, where are the people?" And she said to him, "Well, they're in the offices. There's a lot of people in this building." And the daughter said, "No, no, no. I mean, where are all the people? I thought there'd be more people in Albany." And Governor Cuomo told that story in his inauguration speech, and he said he wanted to bring the people back to Albany. Here we are, Governor Cuomo. We have come. You called us, we came, and now that we've answered your call, we're asking you to listen. We're not asking for a lot. We're asking for what we need, not for what we want. There's a difference. One more thing I want to say, very important. The governor, also, there was one debate. In the great state of New York, there was one damn debate to run for governor. Remember this? And there was one question on the environment. Very lucky day. I remember the answer, and I also remember the question, because actually I was fortunate enough to be asked to present that question to the panel. And I remember specifically Governor Cuomo's response. And what he said then, as candidate Cuomo, was, "We will not allow hydrofracking in the state of New York unless it's safe." He said that. Today, we're saying contaminated drinking water, polluted air, trampling of property rights, destruction of rural communities throughout New York, and earthquakes. What's it going to take to say it's not safe? A horde of locusts? We don't want to wait for the locusts. It's not safe, and we want candidate Cuomo to keep the promise as Governor Cuomo, and that's why we're here. We are the investors in the state of New York, and we're here to make sure that we see a profit on our investment, and that's our future. I want to say one more thing. One more thing I've learned in 29 years. I know I'm going a little over. Wes is going to kill me. But, you know, many times I've heard the elite, the powerful, and the strong who are in office say, sometimes the few must suffer for the good of the many. I've heard this, actually. Now, there's only one answer when we're told sometimes a few must sacrifice for the good of the many. And that answer is bullshit. You know why that answer is bullshit? Because it always seems we're the few. Okay, the few are the working class. The few are the people who are disempowered. The few are the people who are in low-income and minority communities who are underserved. The few are the people who don't write the checks for $1.34 million. We are the few, but yet today we're reversing that. The few are going to stand together and be the many. The few are going to make sure democracy lives in New York State, and the few will make sure that New York State is protected for future generations. No fracking way. No fracking, New York. Thank you very much.
Okay, remember to keep that energy up. It's a long day.